My god, it feels like it's been so long, but I've literally just been busy working non-stop. So I think what I'm going to try and do is have like a schedule set for these videos. So yeah, I'll get into it in a minute, but play the intro. What is going on, guys? Welcome to this video. My name is Cameron, in case you've forgotten, and this is the review for Ultimate Spider-Man issue 114. Now, obviously, it's been a while. I've just been working. I do like video production and stuff like that as like my job, technically. So anyway, as I was saying, like what I'm going to do is try and have a schedule. I'm going to try and upload every Sunday and every Wednesday. That way, it's like 2 videos a week, and you guys will know when to expect like Ultimate Spider-Man reviews and other videos and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. What day is it today? Tuesday. Yeah, so this is going to go up tomorrow. Now, something that's really awesome as well is the Coin Club are also sponsoring this video again as well. If you remember, they also sponsored the previous video with these awesome gold coins that you get to collect from the Avengers Infinity War from Marvel. It's awesome. There's like this whole collection, and now I have every single coin. The Coin Club were amazing enough to send me every single coin, so I have now completed the entire collection. And as a collector, it's like every collector's dream to complete the collection. It's great. Now, something else the Coin Club have done is they've sent me their new collection, which is like a golden collection of these plaques of all the famous covers from Spider-Man comics from over the years. I mean, seriously, this thing is heavy. Like, honestly, it's got some weight to it. So if you want to check out the Coin Club, you can hit the links in the description, go to their Instagram, check out their products, and of course, these awesome collections. And again, thank you so much to them for sponsoring this video. It's super kind of them to send me this as well. Like, as a Marvel collector, it's just amazing to get stuff like this, so thank you. But going back over to the review, what happened in the previous issue of Ultimate Spider-Man? Well, we had the entire comic from the perspective of Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, breaking out of S.H.I.E.L.D, actually running into Dr. Octopus and Electro saving Norman Osborn, luckily. And we also had a brief tease of Gwen Stacy returning as well. As the issue went on, Norman Osborn actually went onto live network TV all over the news, explaining how Nick Fury is the bad guy in this situation, and it basically went from there. And Norman Osborn's acting, I mean, he actually cried. So as the issue wrapped up, we saw Peter and Mary Jane see Norman Osborn on live TV, and that's obviously going to send Mary Jane into a little bit of a freak out because she got thrown off the bridge by Norman Osborn many issues ago. And then, of course, just because he knows Peter Parker's Spider-Man, he knows like who Peter Parker's family are, etc, etc. So basically, everybody's in danger. Everybody. Yeah. Complicated. Guys, you've waited long enough. Let's get into this review for Ultimate Spider-Man issue 114. Alright, so open up the issue, we're going into Ultimate Spider-Man issue 114, with the issue kicking off with Mary Jane seeing Norman Osborn on the screen. Now, obviously, that's a pretty major thing because she was thrown off the bridge by Green Goblin way back in the beginning of the Ultimate Spider-Man series, if you remember that. And it was a pretty traumatizing experience for her. So Mary Jane should be used to seeing villains and like stuff from Spider-Man and stuff like that sort of come into her life on a regular basis, if you get what I mean. So I think her reaction is more along the lines of, because it is Green Goblin, like the arch nemesis of Spider-Man, like the worst villain ever sort of thing. So I think that's where Mary Jane's reaction is coming from. Something that I was very happy to see was that Peter is sort of like growing as a character in terms of learning from his past mistakes. So as soon as Norman Osborn appears on TV, Peter immediately wants to get Mary Jane out of the city, he wants to get Aunt May out of the city, he wants to get the people he cares about out of the way. And I think that's something that really shines in Peter's development as we go through this series, because imagine if like Peter just like left Mary Jane and Aunt May in the city. It would be like the dumbest thing ever. Like in real life, if something like this did happen, the first thing you would do is get your loved ones out of there. So I think it's great how Peter has sort of realised that immediately, taken this situation into his own hands and sort of gone all serious. We also get a really cool Easter egg of the Ultimate Universe's Miles Warren, who in the main Spider-Man comics years ago was the character who was responsible for the Clone Saga event. He was also known as the villain called the Jackal, and I must say he genuinely looks creepy in this. Like, he looks like someone who's got something to hide, like he's got some secrets. But if I remember correctly, the Miles Warren in the Ultimate Universe, is literally just a normal character. Like, he's not a villain or anything. He doesn't come up in some future storyline as far as I'm aware, or at least not in the Spider-Man storyline anyway. But I did think that it was a nice nod that Brian Michael Bendis wrote that in there, that the mystery man Aunt May was dating all this time was the Miles Warren. That's crazy. So that's some good fan service right there from this comic. But anyway, getting into some of the awesome stuff of this comic, the artwork really picks up when Peter Parker throws on his Spider-Man costume and goes out looking for Green Goblin. And I really think this is where the artwork comes to life, especially from Stuart Immonen, because obviously, as you guys know by now, I don't like the way he draws regular characters, but as soon as it's Spider-Man and the action and the villains, the artwork is amazing. Like, honestly, it's so good. Especially all the shots with Spider-Man, like just the way he's proportioned and everything is just amazing, and it really doesn't get old. Like, I honestly can't get over it. Now, as for some of the dialogue, I really like it how the humor sort of mixes in well with Spider-Man going up against Electro like that. I mean, Brian Michael Bendis, as I've already mentioned, never drops the consistency of Spider-Man's humor throughout the entire Ultimate Spider-Man series. Spider-Man never really says anything that where you kind of like, Spider-Man shouldn't say that. Like, honestly, Spider-Man is always full of quips, and Brian Michael Bendis writes that tremendously. I also really like the scale of this fight between Spider-Man and Electro. It sort of starts off in Norman Osborn's place, and then it takes it out into the city, and Spider-Man and Electro just kind of go from there, fighting throughout between the buildings, and it's really vast. It really takes you on sort of like a journey, like a little bit of an adventure. And I don't know if you've noticed, but that sort of fight scene with Electro is in the movies, it's in the video games. Like, whenever Spider-Man is fighting Electro, it's always like going on a journey. It's always like chasing after him through the city, creating an interesting scenario like this. And I didn't actually realize that until just now, so I don't know whether that's like kind of boring or whether that just makes it even more interesting. I guess that's up to you guys. Now, honestly, this moment with Electro I thought was going to be fairly brutal. Like, I legit thought Electro was going to die here, because S.H.I.E.L.D. just blasts Electro with all these bullets, and Spider-Man is sort of just looking at it from the side, just sort of spectating what could have been Electro's death. But out of nowhere, Spider-Man gets involved and literally launches a wheel into the face of Electro, and that's really cool. I like how he gets involved. I like how he sort of acrobatically jumps through the city whilst all these S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are just obliterating Electro, and it just shows that Spider-Man's still there to help. He's still there to take Electro down, regardless of whether the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are there or not. And let's be honest, we've been watching these Ultimate Spider-Man comics long enough, we've been reading them, we've been reviewing them. Spider-Man is definitely going to be in trouble when these S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are done with Electro, and now especially because Nick Fury's not there at S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore, like he's off on a mission or something. S.H.I.E.L.D. is just going to straight up take down Spider-Man, like it's going to happen. And that is exactly what's unfolding on screen right now. Like, honestly, Spider-Man should have just got out there straight away, but I also liked the angle of the panel. Sort of felt like he was down there with Spider-Man as Spider-Man was looking up at these guys as they were counting down, and so it really put you into the action and just sort of think, God's sakes guys, not again. So yeah, as we come up to the final page of this issue, we've got Peter Parker waking up in a jail cell in what looked pretty similar to where Norman Osborn was being held in the Triskelion S.H.I.E.L.D. base, and obviously that's not very good because Nick Fury's away. Only Carol Danvers is there to run S.H.I.E.L.D., and she's never really met Spider-Man before, so it seems like Spider-Man's probably going to have to make an impression on Carol Danvers and see where it goes from there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this issue, but let's go back on camera and talk about it even further and give a rating for this comic. What did you think of that issue, guys? I mean, it felt actually quite serious, and especially with Mary Jane freaking out when she saw Norman Osborn. Like, you really know what her character has been through if you've been following every single issue of this series, so you can relate to her. Now, I don't know whether it's the artwork or whether it's just Mary Jane being written differently maybe, but she just seems quite annoying. Like, is that me? Like, am I just like reading the comic like a little bit wrong or something? Like, she just seems sort of like freaking out when we know that Mary Jane is better than that, if you get what I mean. So, yeah, I think it's just the artwork. Yeah, that makes sense. I really liked how Peter Parker took the matter into his own hands and sort of went straight to just getting Aunt May out of the city and getting Mary Jane out of the city. One thing that was really cool was when Peter Parker got back to his house, we met the Ultimate Universe's Miles Warren. Now, of course, in the main universe, in the Amazing Spider-Man comics, Miles Warren is the person who's responsible for the Clone Saga, also known as the Jackal. But it was really weird to see that Aunt May, all this time, the person that she was dating, was Miles Warren, and I think that's just like a little bit of a nod. I don't remember him actually coming into any craziness in the Ultimate Universe. I think he genuinely is just an Easter egg for the comic in this, so cool. Nonetheless though, he did look really creepy. Like, it looked like he wasn't normal. But definitely one of my favourite moments of the issue was when Peter put his Spider-Man costume on and went out to find Green Goblin, because that's when the artwork really comes to life. Like, just the way the artwork is drawn for Spider-Man in the action is so much better than it being drawn for Peter Parker and Mary Jane. Like, I don't really understand how that works, but yeah, like the artwork is amazing in this comic, especially on Spider-Man and the Electro fight. Woo! And again, Brian Michael Bendis is writing in these fight scenes with Spider-Man sort of with the witty humor and like the jokes that he's heading towards Electro. It never gets old. Like, Brian Michael Bendis is really consistent in the humor factor for Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe, so he does a great job at that. And there's nothing really said out of Spider-Man's character, if you get what I mean. It's always really consistent, and especially if you've been following this series from the very beginning, like, you appreciate that. But of course, as we come up to the final pages of the issue, we do end up seeing Peter Parker get captured by S.H.I.E.L.D. and waking up in a prison cell. Like, Spider-Man can just never catch a break, and I think what's worse is that obviously Carol Danvers has never really interacted with Spider-Man, so as far as Carol Danvers is concerned, Spider-Man's probably a criminal. Nothing can really be done, and that just like really sucks for Peter Parker. Getting on to rate the issue, I'm actually going to rate this like a 9 out of 10. It was one of the better issues that I remember recently. Like, for the past few issues, the issues haven't really been like amazing, like they have, but you know what I mean. This was the first time where the artwork was like, oh my god, it was amazing, and just the whole story coming together. And again, it was because it was from Peter Parker's perspective. Like, that is the bottom line of it. It's a Spider-Man comic, it's from Peter Parker's perspective, and I think that's what the previous issue missed. Like, it was from Green Goblin's perspective, and it was like, it's not a Green Goblin comic really, but yeah. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this comic. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, but remember, from now on, we're going to have like a little bit of a schedule. It's going to be every Sunday and every Wednesday that videos are going to be uploaded to this channel. Thank you so much to the Con Club for sponsoring this video once again, and I really appreciate what you sent me. Thank you so much. Guys, remember the links in the description, so go check those guys out. They are awesome. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you want more videos, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget, Spider-Man PS4 is out so soon, so obviously gameplay walkthrough and live streams of that game will be happening. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.